Alright, I'm in San Antonio. It is super humid right now. That's something I am not used to. I remember last year coming from Texas into Austin, I had the same reaction. I was like, whoa, there's water in the air. What the hell? So, here's another thing I forgot I have to deal with. Bugs getting in. But, anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. I'm going to try and make some money. It's still windy as hell out here, but at least it's not as dusty as El Paso. Well, I wanted to get away from the spiky plants, but can't really do that, I guess. They also still have the what is it, the Palo Verdes around here somewhat, but obviously there's a lot of different types of trees and plants and bushes and stuff. And one of the cool things around here, well, there's a couple of cool things. You got a lot of these shells, which I would assume are like snail shells, so we're not that close to the ocean. That's one interesting thing. I have yet to see an actual snail, but as I recall last time I was in Texas, there were snails around. Maybe more during the rainy season, I don't know. And then the other cool thing around here is these rocks. There's a lot of this type of thing where it's very, very, very shiny and smooth. I think it must be chert. An interesting thing about chert is that's one of the rocks you can use for flint knapping. If you look very closely, you can see the cleavage, as they call it, or the shatter lines. When you break a rock, they all break kind of differently, but you can see this one, it shatters very smooth and very predictably. So the sort of early hunter-gatherers and people nowadays even will use these kind of rocks and like break them off in very specific ways, and you can make arrowheads out of them and spears and all kinds of cool stuff. Wow, so I just found this rock here, and it had some pieces like this on the edge that looked kind of strange. So I broke it open, and look at this. Look at all that. I don't know what to call that. It's almost like agate or something. Like chert and agate are very close to each other. So I feel like this has to be some sort of, it's like quartz with different type of crystalline structure. But look at, that's pretty cool, man. I wish I had like the ability to have like a rock saw with me and like a freaking grinding wheel, so I could actually like work some of this stuff into some sort of shape. Because it's like, if you look at that edge on, it's almost like some sort of gemstone type material, but it's all kind of buried inside this kind of unassuming rock. If it wasn't for these little pieces poking out the side, I wouldn't have thought too much of it. There's a little something out here for everybody, or every little hobby that lives inside my head anyway. Wow, look at this guy. We got rocks, we got trees, we got mushrooms. What more could you ask for? Alright, so here's my list of things I need. Phone bill just lapsed, so I don't have phone service anymore. That's $60 to reactivate it. New boots, so that needs to get done like immediately. This is roughly in order of like how urgent it is. The new boots need to be done immediately. These ones are falling apart. New tent, $100. Instrument, $100 to $250. And then after that, it's like a little less urgent, I guess. But haircut and shower would be nice. But just for those first four, which is kind of, I at least want to get those done before I leave San Antonio. That's already $300 to $400, $300 to $450. So I knew I needed to make a lot of money, but I didn't really know how I was going to do that. I figured a good place to start would be to just look around San Antonio, get a feel for the areas, and do a little bit of panhandling, try and get the ball rolling. So I've been kind of working my way north a little bit, just going spot to spot, and I came up here. And what I didn't realize is there's a big Air Force base. You can see that little logo there. So there's a big Air Force base like right here. So this spot actually sucks. And so I kept moving kind of clockwise around the northwestern edge of San Antonio, just looking for any sort of shopping center, place where there might be a lot of people. Well, I came up here to this spot. There's like a big HEB up that way, stuff like that. But as you can see, we got a few telltale signs. This might not be such a good area. One of the big ones is this little path right here. It leads right into those woods. So you know for a fact there's a big old homeless camp right there. Which means I don't really want to be sleeping around this area, to be honest. And I'm not really sure where else to go. I mean, I could probably be fine if I stick to like this tree line over here or something. I just don't hang out right here. But it's yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. A little further ahead there was a Home Depot, and I thought maybe getting work at the Home Depot would be a good idea. So I headed up there, and that's where I decided to spend the night. There's a skunk over there. I cannot be getting sprayed right now. That would not be good. And you can't see anything. If it does happen, I just want to be filming. Oh, he's grabbing my fucking tortillas. Take it, man. I can't fight you. He's grabbing my tortillas, that son of a bitch. Alright, the skunk had its fill. I managed to not get sprayed. It's walked off a little bit. And I just tossed those tortillas out. Put all my other food away. Should be fine. Not really sure if I want to sleep here, but knowing that there's a skunk around, but I don't know. Don't really want to move either. Alright, made it out to the Home Depot at like 8 o'clock. I was gonna make a sign, but I saw these guys out here. They don't have a sign. So maybe no sign is the way to go. People probably get the idea anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna have any luck here. I guess, I don't know if I don't get anything by like noon. I'll move over to the Walmart that's on the other side of this interchange over here. No coffee this morning, which kind of sucks. I'm out of sweetener too, so I can make some coffee, but it's gonna be black. And pretty tired, but you know what? It's worth it if I can get some freaking money. So I sat at that Home Depot for about an hour, watching people kind of come and go. I don't know how to say this exactly because it's gonna sound weak either way, but like basically I just started feeling real bad about it. I didn't like my chances of getting work, and after about an hour I just was like, okay, I'm giving up on this. I don't know, I keep trying to do this sort of thing, and it's mostly myself that's getting in the way. I don't really know how else to say it. So I got stuff to work on, but basically at that point I was like, well, what do I need to do? I need to get a new instrument, so maybe it'd be a good idea to go up to a guitar center. So I found this guitar center over here on the north side. Took a bus up there and spent like 2 or 3 days trying to panhandle, mostly at this intersection over here. It was not great. You know, I was getting some money, but it was mostly going down the drain. Alright, well, I haven't been filming much. I've been kind of miserable, to be honest with you. Just kind of going around, flying signs, not making much money. I'm trying to save up enough to like do something, but it's not working out. I can't really save anything. The sign flying is just making me enough to stay afloat, but it's not doing anything else. So I'm thinking, like, as much as it sucks, I really wanted to make some money in San Antonio. It might just not be able to happen. And also with my phone being off, I can't really go do temp work because they're gonna need a phone. You know, I tried to go in front of that Home Depot the other day, and that just didn't really work out. And so I don't know. I think I might just be better off if I keep traveling, honestly. And on that note, I have decided on a route that I want to take. I think I'm going to go up to Tennessee first. Like go up through Arkansas and then up into Tennessee. Because I want to see Nashville. And I know Nashville's not that close to kind of the other places I wanted to be. So I want to kind of go up through Memphis into Nashville, then over to the coast, and then go up to Richmond. And then try and avoid Baltimore. And so I was looking at the map earlier. I can maybe show it later, but I think I've kind of more or less decided on a route that I want to take. So I wanted to see Nashville as kind of one of the spots that I wanted to see. A little spoiler for where I'm at when I'm recording this, but Nashville, Tennessee is over here. And in order to get up there, what I was thinking initially was I would come along the south and then go up the coast and then maybe take a detour over to Nashville. But looking at the map, I was like, man, Nashville's really not that close to the coast, actually. There's quite a distance between there and the coast. So what if instead I come up through Texas to Texarkana, up into Arkansas, Little Rock, and then over into Memphis, over to Nashville, and then from there I can either go north or east. And I think honestly I'm probably going to try and go east. Richmond, Virginia is kind of another spot that I was looking at. And then you get Washington, D.C., Baltimore, which I've heard nothing but bad things about, so I kind of want to avoid that. I don't have the exact route that I'm going to take through this area mapped out yet, but I got plenty of time to figure that out. But the basic route that I want to take, starting from San Antonio, is up here, around Dallas, over this way, and into Nashville. No loitering and also no loafing. You really can't do anything around here. So after that, I tried to panhandle for a couple more days, and eventually I just got sick of it. Alright, I'm officially sick of this shit. I'm getting the fuck out of here. If I have to walk all the way to fucking wherever, then that's fine. I'm just done. I'm sick of fucking sitting here making $20 a day, spending it all on cigarettes and fast food. I can't fucking seem to control myself from doing that, so like obviously this is just not gonna work. I'm just gonna fucking move. I'm gonna keep traveling. That's what I do best anyway. That's what I like to do. I'll make money on the way. All my shit's gonna fall apart and I'm gonna be barefoot and have the dirtiest, rattiest clothes you've ever seen. I'm gonna be dirty as fuck. But if that's the way it's gotta be, that's the way it's gotta be. I'm not staying here doing this shit one more fucking day. I'm getting out of here. Alright, this is as far as the bus can take me. Now it's about 7 miles of walking to get to a Walmart up this way. And then after that, I don't know, like 10 miles or so to New Braunfels. Maybe I can get a ride. Probably not, because it's Texas. The people in Texas suck. And the roads in Texas suck. So, you know, maybe I'll get there in a couple of days. Maybe I won't. We're just gonna have to find out. So I was in a real bad mood at that point, so, you know, don't take anything I said there too seriously. But basically I was around this area where the bus left me off, and I wanted to get up to New Braunfels. In the middle of that there is a Walmart, an H-E-B, and that was about how much was that? And that was about 7 miles to get to there. And I just decided that I wanted to walk, partially to burn off some steam, and also because, you know, hitchhiking along this road didn't seem like a great option, and I didn't have any money for buses or anything like that. I don't think there's any buses that run along this short little stretch of highway anyway. So that was the plan. They're constructing a big section of highway all along this road. It's kind of interesting to see. There's one of them back here where it looks like they're actually casting the top part in place, which I guess makes sense. I didn't really know how they did that, but you know, I guess it'd be too big to get a crane to lift a big piece like that up there. I wonder how they probably use a crane for these cross beams though. Kind of just interesting to see. All right. I slept under a bridge. Still got like 4.5 miles to go. And then I get to this Walmart, and I think I'm going to spend all day there and try and spange up some money. There's a chance of rain tonight, so I'll try and find somewhere like this under a bridge. You know, it was like fucking 2 weeks ago I was going to get a haircut. I guess I could have gotten a haircut at some point here. I probably had $15, but you know, I had to spend that $15 on food and cigarettes. I've been weaning off the cigarettes. I actually, the last day or two, I bought a pack of Lucky 100s like 3 days ago, and I've been just like going through those very slowly, trying to, you know, increase the amount of time between cigarettes, and hopefully today I can like not do that at all, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, I'm pretty much here now. It actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought. For some reason the first half of this walk yesterday felt like it took forever, and then this morning it just took like an hour or two. It basically didn't even I wasn't even paying attention for most of it, just zoned out, and suddenly I'm here. So that's good. Alright, I just went out there for a little bit and I did really well. Got $44 in about an hour. Which, yeah, that's really good. It's still like pretty busy over there, so I could certainly keep going. I think I will. Just taking a little break. I could possibly get enough to reactivate my phone right now, or maybe I'd rather buy new boots. I'm not exactly sure which I'd rather do first. So on the one hand, you know, having a phone is good for certain things. Being able to communicate with people whenever, you know, being able to look stuff up whenever, you know, especially for trains, being able to look up information is really nice. But on the other hand, most of what I use the phone for, the, you know, internet on the phone anyway, is for just fucking around and doing shit that I don't really need to be doing. Not that I haven't been doing that anyway, because like basically I've just replaced all the time I was spending on YouTube with like different games and apps. But you know, I'm kind of enjoying not being online all the time. Wow, oh my goodness. So I went, got some stuff at Walmart, sat at a Wendy's for a little bit, went back out at 5, and then by 6 o'clock I had $80. $80. That's crazy. So what did I say I made it the first hour I was out there? It's like 40 something. So I made $120 plus some amount, I'm not sure, in like a couple hours of flying a sign. So I guess lesson learned there is that location is super important. I was wasting my time in San Antonio, just completely wasting my time. I came up here instantly $120. That's crazy. So I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go ahead and walk to New Braunfels right now. It's about 10 miles. I'm hoping to do 4 now and 6 in the morning, something like that. When I get there, I'll have money to do laundry, get a shower, and then after that, I'll probably still have like $100 left, something like that, and I will use that money to reactivate my phone. Should have 40 left after that. I'll just keep that. That'll be for food and whatnot. There's the wad, just in case you thought I was lying, I guess. Yeah, that's awesome. One of the themes of this episode is me making plans about money and then those plans falling apart, so you can take everything I say there with a grain of salt. But either way, I made my way up to a little spot that I found and camped out for the night. I found these concrete thingies over here, and I slept inside of one of them because I thought it'd be protected from the rain, but it turns out there's some holes in them, which I did see before the rain hit, luckily, so I got my tarp out and I just put it over top. But some of the water still came down and then ended up underneath my stuff, and so did get a little wet still, but this is the only thing that got wet, so that's fine. I'm just means I have to leave it out to dry a little bit, and hopefully it'll dry out quickly and then I can get going. Here's the first glimpse of my destination. I can barely see it. But that's how far I have left to go. I made it, technically. I'm actually still pretty far away. For some reason the city limits extend out this far. I think I still got another 4 or 5 miles to go. Alright, made it. So now I'm at the pilot. I got a shower. That's good. I have $87 left. I realized that I need new socks. For some reason I only have like 2 or 3 pairs of socks left. So I need those. I need, I'm gonna get a haircut. I'd like to get a new shirt, because this shirt has a big old stain in it. So maybe a new shirt at a thrift store if I can. But the Walmart is still another like 2 or 3 miles up ahead, and forgive me for not wanting to do that after walking like 7 miles today. It's already 5. So I think I'm just gonna hang out for today, and then I will go do that in the morning. But either way, I'm happy to be here in New Braunfels, and yeah, but happy to be back on the road. This is a nice place to camp for tonight. I'm happy I can just rest. All right, haircut achieved. I feel like I'm getting robbed a little bit, paying $18 for them to just fucking sit there and shave it off in 5 minutes. But whatever. Can't really, can't really haggle with the barber. Maybe you can in some places, but anyway. All right, well, I'm feeling good about today. So I went over to Walmart and I bought some socks and some food. And I looked at the boots. They were actually a little bit cheaper than I thought, but then the socks were a little more expensive than I thought. The socks ended up being $10. I thought it would be more like 5 or 8 or something. And then the boots I thought would be 45. They ended up being 30. But I recounted my money and I didn't quite have enough anyway, so I just left the boots. I can get those at some other point. And I want to have some, like, I want to have some sort of a cushion, like a safety net left over after I buy those anyway. So I want to have, like, $20 extra before I go and buy those boots. So I have $28 left. I think that's pretty good for just keeping that on me. Try and, you know, stay smart, don't get cocky, don't start spending money on things willy-nilly. Be grateful for the stuff that I've been able to do right now. Well, I'm not getting much sleep tonight. I'm getting fucking bugs crawling all over me. And it's also just really hot and shit. I don't know, you know, pill bugs are obviously like pretty innocuous most of the time, but when they're crawling all over you when you're trying to sleep, that is simply not acceptable. So I think I'm going to pick all my stuff up and move. Let's see here. I mean, I think I've been moving around and they're kind of scattering here, but yeah, I just gotta move or something. Like, I don't know where, but clearly this spot is not good. Alright, this has got to be the stupidest place I've ever slept. I'm just in a fucking gravel pile. But strangely enough, it works. There's kind of hills on both sides. And I actually managed to sleep a little bit. Yep, that was a weird one for sure. Alright, well, I got like, I don't know, 5 hours of very strange sleep. Alright, here's the situation. It is supposed to rain tonight pretty heavily, and I don't really trust my tarp or my tent to hold up to heavy rains. So there's a library over here pretty close by, and just past that there's a bridge. That's where I'm going to try and sleep tonight. Unfortunately, I think the rain is supposed to continue for quite some time, the next couple days. Maybe there will be breaks in the rain and stuff, but yeah, that's about it. So I think I'm just kind of like gonna be stuck here for a little bit. So I was sitting over here at this library, and a guy let me know that there's actually a shelter right by that pilot that I was sitting at. I looked on the map, and sure enough, there it is. I never noticed it from the outside. He said there's like kind of a wait list to get in, and they want you to be looking for jobs and stuff, but there's like a spot outside that has a roof that they let people crash at. So that's probably what I will be doing. I was also looking at this library being like, hey, maybe like after they close and everybody's gone, I can come under this roof here. And the thing about the shelter is there's going to be other people there, which I don't love, but you know what, it's probably worth it. It's not the heaviest downpour I've ever seen, but I think it's supposed to keep going. It's been going like an hour and a half, and it's probably going to keep going another couple hours. So great. So when the sun went down and the library closed, I made the questionable decision to just sleep right there at the library. And around 3 a.m. that led to the predictable conclusion of cops coming and kicking me out. But it's 3 a.m. Hopo rolled up. I should have probably gone over to that homeless shelter as soon as I heard about it, and that might have been fine. But once it started raining, I'm not sure there was much I could have done. I mean, it's not actually raining right now. I was under the impression it was going to rain all night, but apparently not so much. So they let me off just pretty easy. They also told me there's no panhandling. It said no soliciting. in New Braunfels. So I actually did fly a sign like 2 days ago for not that long, and I was gonna fly more. Kind of glad I didn't now, but alright, well, last night sucked. It sucked pretty bad. The fucking homeless shelter. So I mean, like, I couldn't go inside. I don't think they even have any beds available, but it was definitely too late to go inside at that point. But they had just this little tiny area that had a roof over it, and there were 7 people there. I counted them, and it couldn't have been more than like 16 by 16, the rooftop area. But then the thing is, the floor was concrete, and when the rain came off the edges, it hit the ground and then it would splash. So subtract about 4 feet from that, on at least 2 sides. And yeah, they were kind of packed in there like sardines. There's just enough room for me, and I was still getting wet, so I got my tarp out. So it's like, fucking, if I'm getting my tarp out, then like, what's the point? I should have just gone into the woods at that point. The fucking cops, I don't know what they were doing, like looking around at 3 a.m. They could have at least had the decency to leave me there till 6 or something. I don't know. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, if you got so little space in the homeless shelter, then why do you have the cops going around kicking people out of places? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't remember if I already said this or not, so I'll just say it again, but the cops told me that there's no panhandling allowed in New Braunfels. So that means until I leave, I'm not going to be able to make any more money. That is kind of a problem, because I'm going to have to be here like minimum minimum 2 more days. Or I should say 2 more nights. And then the next day it shouldn't be raining, and I can decide what I'm doing. But it's not going to be that easy to get out of here either. I'm either going to have to walk a whole bunch to the other side of town to hitchhike, or I'm going to have to wait around a whole bunch to try and hop a train out of here. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it, but there is a train track nearby. And I saw 2 trains stop there the other night. So they do stop. And they should be going to either like Dallas-Fort Worth or what was it called? Longview from here. So either way would be fantastic, honestly. It's going in the right direction. I just have to be patient if I do that, and if I don't have any money, that's going to be a little hard. Alright, so that was kind of a rough period right there. Just, you know, money troubles and basically trying to relearn how to do all this out here. But that's a good thing, you know, builds character, and I want to have these hard experiences so that I learn how to deal with them in the future and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about it too much. I don't want you guys to think that I'm, like, you know, in dire need right now. I'm making it by, and it's really just the high level, you know, expensive stuff that I don't have all the money to buy right now. But I get the money here and there, and the people who donate always help, and you'll see some of that in the next video and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this one, and go ahead and read the donations. So first up, I got $25 from Kurt. Kurt says, "Doing great, keep your head up, hope to meet up soon." Kurt. Yeah, so that was the one Kurt in the last video donated and said, you know, keep hopping trains and come up to New England, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So yeah, who knows, maybe we will meet up. it's going to be some time still before I'm in that area, but thank you very much for the $25. I got $20 from Brian, who did not leave a message, so thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it. I got $6 from Chance. Said, I always enjoy your videos. I liked your train hopper song in the last one. Yeah, I wrote that and recorded it very quickly, so I don't know if it's my best work, and it was very slow. I should have sped up the tempo, but I was also trying out a new technique where I write most of the song in this MIDI program that I have on my phone, and then just record the vocals. It worked pretty well. I might do it more in the future, especially now that I don't have an instrument to use. But thank you very much, Chance. Next one, I have $10 from Michael. Michael said, the train songs were great. Thanks. Well, thank you, Michael, for the $10. I'm glad people enjoyed the train song. I think it was, I don't know, it was alright. I'm always pretty critical of my own music, I guess, but it filled the space nicely. And I have $10 from Gary S. He said, hey Ross, hope my little money helps. Safe travels. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you're still sticking around. It's definitely helpful. Everything helps, especially, you know, the ones that come in the middle of the week and stuff where I'm not expecting it. It's always like, ah, yes, money. I can buy some food or something. So, yeah, always helps. Thank you very much, Gary. That's all the donations for today. So, yeah, I mean, you saw a little sneak peek in this video of where I'm at now, so you can know that I made a little bit of distance in the next one. You can see how that happened. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.